Possessed squash. All of the plants in this region have interesting characteristics, like this freakish one, for example. Lately, I've started the habit of tasting new discoveries. It may be dangerous to eat unfamiliar plants, but I've only gotten violently sick a few times. Dude, if you get violently sick after eating one plant, you should just stop eating plants altogether. And plus, unless you bake this into a pie, why would you want to eat it? Fossilized Ursidae. This dead beast has the form of an animal, yet it is encased in an organic compound. I have concluded that it is a groundbreaking biological discovery. The ship says it's nothing more than a wooden statue. I wish I had more of an imagination. No. Then it would probably talk even more than it does now. That would be bad. That would be pretty bad indeed. Let's move on. Colossal Fossil. This must be the fossilized remains of an enormous land-dwelling creature. I was unable to piece together the entire beast, but it certainly had a massive head. It's obviously quite different from the Pikmin and other creatures I've encountered. Perhaps it's an extinct creature that couldn't adapt to changes in its environment. More than likely that's the case. I'm not even sure what that is, by the way. Leviathan Feather. This appears to be a huge bird feather, but I've never seen the creature it once belonged to. I wonder if I ever will. I've only seen a few airborne creatures on this planet. I wonder why. Maybe it's just because I haven't encountered them yet. Oh no. What if they saw me take this feather? They could be watching me, waiting for the perfect moment to take their sweet revenge! Olimar, I think you're being a bit too paranoid. Plus, birds don't go back for feathers. Once they lose their feathers, that's it. Nothing to worry about. Olimar shell. This fossil was dug up deep underneath the awakening wood. Given its shape and morphology, I suspect that it is some kind of prehistoric sea creature. If so, it's feasible to say that the whole region was once situated on the ocean floor. Possibly. Possibly. Fortified delicacy. I wonder what's become of the creature this shell was defending. Enigmas like this always make me curious. Was it tasty? Maybe I should find one and give it a taste? All in the name of science and exploration, of course. Yeah, good luck with that, Olimar. I have to wonder what creature resided within that shell anyway. A crab, maybe? Scrumptious shell. I've encountered all kinds of grotesque, inedible creatures on this strange planet. However, there's an area in the perplexing pool region that's chock full of tasty critters. Yeah, I'm not even sure if creatures like that are tasty. Wait, actually, now that I think about it, I think people serve up clams as parts of certain dishes, but I'm not sure which ones though. I haven't tried clam before in my life, but I would like to someday, if and only if it's tasty. If it's not, then never again. Memorial shell. I've observed several species of shell-dwelling creatures inhabiting the perplexing pool. One of these feisty beasts forms a spherical gem within the meaty depths of its shell. In a way, this gem could be considered this creature's life work. I consider my children my life's work. I hear you, Olimar. I hear you. Also, I wonder where the creature got the pearl. Definitely looks quite shiny and valuable. Wonder how much you could sell it for. Mysterious remains. This looks like some part of a crustacean. Its shape vaguely resembles a pair of scissors, but I've never seen anything quite like it. It's fair to assume this creature has already perished, but I don't understand why it hasn't already begun to fossilize. Perhaps it was eaten by another creature and it spit out these unwanted parts? Whoa there, that's crazy talk. That is crazy talk indeed. And what's even crazier is thinking about what happened to the creature that only caused that claw to remain out on the ground. I get creeped out the more I think about it. Let's just keep moving. Crystal King. At first glance, this may look like just a pebble, but it's actually a crystallized life form. Okay, so I don't have any proof, but it's still an exciting scientific discovery. Yeah, you might want to prove your point first, Olimar. Just saying. Future Orb. According to my analysis, this advanced contraption can reflect the future of those that peer into it. However, when the president looked into it, he saw total darkness. He said it must have been broken, but I'm not so sure. How do we know for sure if that's actually working? Gyroid bust? I'm sorry guys, I have a hard time pronouncing that sometimes. You can feel free to let me know how exactly that's pronounced. But for now, I'm just going to call it a gyroid. My son tells me that this type of figurine is all the rage with the kids. The strangest things amuse kids. When I was a kid, we were lucky if we were allowed to even talk about figurines. P.S. When I found this figurine, it had been placed so that it was protected by a wall of flame. My research isn't complete, but I think it may have been a shrine of some kind. You think so, huh, Olimar? I feel like I've seen this before, by the way, but I'm not exactly sure where. Oh well, let's just press on ahead. Unknown merit. Detailed analysis has revealed that this artifact is extremely ancient. It's obviously an important archaeological discovery, but the salesman in me is more interested in its monetary value. Maybe I'll get the best of both worlds by selling it to a museum. You could do that, Olimar. You'll get rich easily. Lustrous element. This rare alien metal doesn't exist on Hakotate. When I gaze at it, I'm gripped with an overpowering sense of greed. On Hakotate, there's a valuable metal with a stunning sheen that has a similar effect. Perhaps this alluring metal is responsible for many of this planet's woes. That does make sense when you think about it. Even now, as I think about it and have a look at this treasure, I'm constantly thinking how greedy the world still is, even to this day. Mirrored element. Talking to the boss makes me crave the power to order people around. He just sits on his haunch all day, barking out wildly irrational requests. Ah! When will it be my turn to be the boss? I don't know, Olimar, but it'll happen soon. Just don't lose hope. Vorpal platter. The monomolecular edge of this disastrous platter is sharp enough to split subatomic particles. I found it deep in an underground complex covered with slippery ceramic tiles. I learned there that I can blow my whistle by pressing B to save my Pikmin from being burned, drowned, or poisoned. Well, we figured that out already. Not sure you get advice from this, by the way. But good for you, Olimar. Invigorator. All this non-stop exploration has worn me out. I'm constantly battling bouts of fatigue. Thankfully, a quick sniff of this item's invigorating odor instantly wakes me up. This zesty scent also fills me with an irresistible urge to fight. This treasure must have been owned by an ancient warrior. Or it could have originally been a cup of coffee and people constantly drank coffee in order to prepare themselves for the day. Fill them with motivation and determination. That's my guess on it. Milk tub. It seems that there's no shortage of daughters that think their fathers stink. I've never had that problem, but it must be hard on those poor fathers. I shouldn't take advantage of it, but I'm sure that stink epidemic increases the value of this treasure. Smelly fathers could take a dip in this portable milk pool, and their daughters would adore them for their farm fresh scent. People bathing in milk? Okay, that's lovely. I'm not even sure if you can actually get clean by bathing yourself in milk. Like seriously, I don't even think that's possible. Nor would we just use water to clean ourselves. Occultations are weird. Merciless extractor. When I look at the president, I can't see myself climbing the corporate ladder. To be a manager, you've got to be an inhuman, heartless villain. This trait allows them to flog their dedicated workers without mercy and still sleep at night. I feel that same merciless cruelty radiating from this metallic altar. I wonder if it was once used for dark, unspeakable ceremonies, or perhaps it was once the desk of a corporate boss. We'll never know. Such thoughts you have, Olimar. Although, if I could talk about this treasure, it has been used maybe cruelly. The only thing I can think of it being used is, just grinding and crushing certain fruits. Lemons, for example, in order to make a good juice from them. Broken Food Master. This chrome truff. I'm gonna assume that it's tro. Has a very strange shape. It's bent and smooth, except for a sharp prong at the end of it. The ship insists that it's one of the 3 sacred treasures of Samadush, but I think it's just a kitchen sink. I think it looks more like a frying pan, if I'll be honest. Or maybe one of those baking tins that I have at work, for taking certain measurements. Utter scrap. The area we recently touched down in is blanketed with a fresh layer of frozen precipitation. That would be snow. As tranquil and relaxing as it is, I named it the Valley of Repose. Using Pikmin to move obstacles, I was able to open up some new areas to exploration, where I found this hunk of metal. And the adventure continued on from there. Decorative Goo. With the assistance of the blue Pikmin, we found a canister of paint today. I used it to give the ship a fresh coat of paint, but did it thank me? No! As a space pilot, I've always treated my ship like a trusted companion, even if it is a smart aleck. Yet that snobbish ship has the gall to complain about the color. There's no pleasing it. Forget this. I'm going to bed. I feel your pain, Olimar. Then again, to be fair, I don't think you should interact with the ship at all. I mean, it's got such a sulky attitude, if you ask me. That's why I hated the ship as I was going through the Pikmin 2 no-def run. Master's Instrument. I found this object squirreled away in an underground complex. Some of these structures demonstrate a high degree of culture. I surmise that each building must have been designed by an artist of great renown. This pink painting rod reinforces my hunch that this civilization appreciated fine art. You'd be correct, Olimar. You'd be correct indeed. Manual Honer. Honer? I'm gonna say Honer. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the words. The size of this construction rig is astonishing. It could build an entire house in minutes. The strangest part is that I don't see any electrical plug on it anywhere. Surely you don't have to power it manually? Yeah, it's just a handheld pencil sharpener. You don't need to plug it up to any type of outlet in order for it to work. Implement of Toil. We've worked so hard. I think I could use some rest and relaxation. However, looking at all the valuable treasures we've collected, I think we'll make a huge fortune. Then I can hire an army of butlers to attend to my every whim. I think a sense of greed may be getting the best of Olimar at this point. But I can understand why, considering that all the treasures that we've collected are quite valuable in some way. Heavy Duty Magnetizer. I've had an upset stomach lately. I'm not old yet, but I'm not young anymore either. Maybe I should start doing a better job of looking after my health. Perhaps basking in this contraption's magnetic rays will make me stronger. Yeah, good luck with that, Olimar. Although, I don't think it'll work in the way that you intend it to. Harmonic Synthesizer. My taste in music is highly refined, but my wife and kids have no taste at all. For example, when I ask my family if they want to go out for karaoke, they twist their faces and give me a nasty look. They don't know what they're missing. Seriously, they don't. I, of course, haven't done karaoke in my life, and neither have my coworkers, or any of my friends for that matter. But if ever the opportunity should come up to do some karaoke, I would definitely take up that offer. Totally. Emperor Whistle. Sometimes it's difficult to tell if a treasure is natural or manufactured. The ship has concluded that this treasure is natural, but I'm not so sure. The ship sulks and gripes for days if I disagree with it, so I'll keep my opinion to myself. I think it was pretty much man-made. Plus, agreeing with the ship, probably a good idea. Because if you're going to constantly have someone complain about something for days, I can understand how that's intolerable. Seriously, I never had that happen to me before, and I honestly do hate that something like that would come up, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that it doesn't come up. Director of Destiny. With the help of my Pikmin, I've been able to widen the radius of my salvage search. The new areas that have opened up to exploration are far more dangerous. Just to be safe, I better review Pikmin traits and characteristics. Press C to dismiss your Pikmin and separate them into colored groups. Excuse me. Hold A to pick up and hold Pikmin. While holding Pikmin, press B to switch the color of Pikmin you're holding. Thanks, Olimar. Sud Generator. I found a weird item today. Wetting the surface produces an endless froth of bubbles. It's amusing, but it will take further investigation to determine its practical use. It may take a young and playful mind to unlock its secrets. When I return home, I think I'll show it to my kids. Suds. And bubbles. And plus you could even use it to take a bath. Just saying, Olimar. That's the true function. Flame of Tomorrow. From the beginning of time, my people have searched for a perfectly clean, endlessly renewable energy source. Unfortunately, we've never found anything close to it. Rubbing these two objects together seems to reduce fire. Maybe this is the long-lost energy source we've always been searching for? I'm not sure about long, considering that it's just a match and it's made of wood, and whenever you light it on fire, it goes out within seconds, maybe about a minute or so. So you might want to keep looking, Olimar. Impediment Scourge. Yellow Pikmin are infatuated with high places. They seem to love it when I toss them high in the air. Once I hurled them up to a high area and they came down with this treasure. Yellow Pikmin, they're such helpful creatures. Same goes for all the other Pikmin. Dimensional Slicer. Our salvage operations have yielded several unbelievably advanced artifacts. According to my analysis, this cutting device can slice through the fabric of time and space. My days of struggling to open food canisters are over. I'm not sure if that's used to open up food cans. I think it serves a different purpose, but you can feel free to try it, Olimar. Don't take my word for it. Time Capsule. This must be some kind of a memorial capsule left by a lost civilization. It has left behind some image data, but I can't make any sense of it. I'm going to have to do some additional analysis. I'll document any exciting new developments in my log along with pages and pages of meaningless doodles. You do that, Olimar. Also guys, puppy! So cute, look at the puppy! So cute and adorable. I wish I had one like that if I'll be honest. Also, going back a bit, Bowser! Hate you, Bowser, so much. Shout out to you, Bowser. Yeah, you get that. Lip Service. I've never had much desire to climb the corporate ladder, but I'm beginning to think I should. Every year that my kids grow older, they get more expensive. Taking care of them is my most important duty. I should take lessons from the ship on how to be a high-pressure salesman, then I rake in the cash. I have that same feeling too. Even though the job that I work at now really pays me a good amount of money, I would like to explore some new things, new possibilities, be accepted into a different position. So yeah, I can understand that feeling. Maybe one day it'll happen, and if it doesn't, then hey, I can still be happy with what I have now. Mirrored Stage. Every day it's nothing but work, work, work. Sometimes I need to just get it off my mind. So I set this thing up as a stage and taught the Pikmin a song and dance routine. Red, purple, white, yellow, and blue Pikmin danced in perfect unison and sang their little hearts out. When I return home, I should take up a career as a dance instructor. Oh, I wanted to see how the Pikmin dance! How dare you keep that to yourself, Olimar? How dare you? How dare you? I like Pikmin as much as you do. Behemoth Jaw. Oh, Jesus. I can't conceive of how a creature with teeth this big could have ever lived. Emperor Bulblax, that bloated meat whale, lol, is the only creature I've seen even half that size. The only thing I could do is hope I never encounter something that massive. You probably won't anytime soon because the ancient civilization on the planet has collapsed entirely. Joy Receptacle. Today, we venture across the plains to reach a cold cavern I've been meaning to spelunk. The Pikmin have had a hard time coping with the bitter cold, but they were real troopers. Somehow, they summoned the strength to carry this box, so I hope it's full of treasure. I too would like to know what's inside. Fleeting Art Form. By the way, do not open till Xmas. Moving on, Fleeting Art Form. Some works of fine art are timeless, while others are fleeting. Once lit, this sculpted pillar of wax will burn with glory for a short time before flaming out. The purpose of this piece of art is to help us all envision our final moment of flaming glory. Yeah, I can see how that is. Although, candles like those are quite long lasting. But I could be wrong about that. Danger Chime. Today we search the caves located at the far end of the Valley of Repose. To ensure that we're thoroughly combing the region for treasure, we have to check every cave. Thanks to that diligence, we found this very item. To memorialize our exploration into the unknown, I named that cave Frontier Cavern. Way to have that sense, Olimar. Way to have that motivation to explore new places. Spouse Alert. Sometimes I miss my carefree bachelor days. Once you have a family, those days are history. I like spending time with my wife, but sometimes I just want to be alone. If I'll be completely honest with you guys, I too have that feeling. I mean, I've got friends at work who I like to spend time with, and even family for that matter, but most of the time within a particular day, I just want to be alone and just reflect on life, you know? I wonder if that's the behavior of an introvert. I don't think it's so wrong. I mean, you want to be alone and people need to respect that. It'll just give you time to reflect. That's just my thoughts on it. But it's true, I like to do that sometimes too. Mostly I like to be alone. Though sometimes I do like to spend time with other people. If I can, that is. Innocence Lost. This stirring object reminds me of a dream I once had. When I was a child, the twinkling stars held so much promise and mystery. I had those dreams a lot when I was little too. I always wondered what was out there in the depths of space. And now I know. Not everything, but I know some stuff about space. Essential Furnishing. This object sparkles beautifully. It's enormous, but I think it would make a great party decoration. That reminds me of the last time my family threw a party. I was busy at work and I couldn't make it, so my wife and kids enjoyed the party without me. My family grows further and further away each day. That's kind of sad actually. Remember how I was mentioning earlier that I like to spend time with most people, but sometimes I like to be alone? Well, it is true that I spend time with family, but probably not enough of it. Maybe at some point within the future, I would like to spend more time with them within the day, especially my dad. He likes to invite me to play golf, but sometimes I decline. Makes me feel kind of bad, actually. I, of course, would also like to do stuff with my mom, my little brother, and sister. Icon of Progress. The last cave we searched yielded a wide variety of oddly shaped and bizarrely colored treasures. For instance, this crooked object appears to be a boot, but it's adorned with several strange modifications. Perhaps it's some kind of modern art. Or it could just be a decorated Christmas boot.